Welcome to Can He Be Unchained? Go jamming with little Hobson. There you go. Alright. Today is October 5th. Monday, October 5th. 2020. Almost through this year. Almost through. Yeah, feel free to check out that song. That song is dope. Hobson Kumbaya. Alright, so just doing this video because it's about time more people got informed on what actually this guy is all about. This creep weirdo, Joe Biden. Now, there's a whole series of videos that kind of show you, like, what's up with this dude. Alright, he does some creepy shit. He does some weird stuff. Now, I was on Twitter earlier today, and one of my things that I've been pushing lately, alright? I've been pushing to I go on the Democrat pages, right? Like the Democrats on Twitter, and I'm like, look, you guys still have the opportunity to write in your candidate. Can you co-sign this? And then I post a video. You can still write in Bernie Sanders on your ballots. Can you co-sign this? And I show a video about it. He's got like 5-6 different videos that are like, if Trump had one of these, dude would be beyond demonized. You know what I mean? And some of the stuff that he's been saying is stuff to get politicians thrown out of office. So it's like, what are you guys doing here? Really? Democrats just like, they let him slide. They let him slide on this stuff, and it's unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable, especially with these videos that are out. And this video I'm going to show you, because they've been playing a lot of the clips. I'm playing you the full in video, right? Because it's not just a clip. It shows everything leading up to the creepy moment. And then somebody tried posting earlier today that, oh, well, Trump was kissing babies. And I'm like, you're comparing kissing babies to this guy full out creeping. Full out creeping. They got people in the Senate who are getting actually, they're getting welcome to the Senate, and he's like creeping on their kids, and it's a little bizarre. It's not like normal behavior. It's not like normal creepy uncle behavior. This looks sick. And I know I'm not the only one that thinks like that. That's for sure. If you had anything close to this with Trump, bring it out. Play the video. But this is real talk. You got this guy who's been doing this for years, just creeping out on these kids. All right, enough talking. I'm going to show you the video. We'll start off with this one here. So we're going to zoom you out. Okay, so United States Senate ceremonial swearing in. Let's go, Creepy Joe. Show them what you got.
All right, come on, slide in.
Well, I get it. They're taking pictures.
Come on, man, you make me.
It's a ceremonial swearing in of Christopher Coons, Democrat of Delaware. Then you look. I mean, this looks normal. Looks like everything's cool. Biden's taking the lead. You know, nothing too bad to see here.
You gotta look up at the Senate photographer up top of it.
Look up top. Nothing wrong. Looks like a perfectly fine, nice little swearing in. Until he does this. It's like, what is he saying?
All right, well, nice to see you.
You're a real good girl. That's all I heard out of that. But like,
home, I hope. Okay.
like that, is that acceptable behavior for your president of the United States? Is that acceptable behavior? Next one. I posted this on Twitter. This got me locked out of Twitter. They said that this was because I was showing sexually explicit with children. It was like a sexually explicit child video. And it's like, are you kidding me?
You want your daughter to hold the Bible? You jump in the middle, Angel. You
Look,
right on
this is the full. Looks like there's nothing wrong here. Everything looks fine.
You're standing right next to me.
Fine and dandy.
And then
We're swearing in Corey Gardner.
Daddy put his left hand
Got
in
that Bible.
He can
The whole nine.
reach it and repeat, not repeat it, we're just going to, hey man, here we go. You ready? Do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic? That you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same? That you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion? That you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which you're about to enter, so help you God.
Nothing wrong here. Well, cool. He starts pulling her in tighter.
What a beautiful thing. That's how old my children are. Yeah, very good. Come on, slide across. Get everybody in.
Looks like he's like licking his chops. Look at him.
Switch here. You two come here.
There we go.
You got it? Okay.
It's like pulling her around.
You can hold the Bible.
Like, there's nothing wrong being up in arms. And like, but she's like looking down like, that's my brother. This old guy's got his hand on me. It's a little creepy. This one's not as bad as the other one.
Oh, there it is.
Not as bad as the other one.
Everybody else is looking forward to it.
Of course I would. Hi, Caroline. How are you?
I know you've seen those 2-second clips. They play those a ton.
You all sisters?
These are in full. This is in action.
Sister, what's your name? Hi, Daddy. How are you? How old are you?
Again, is this behavior you want from your president of the United States? The one with the red dress really isn't that bad. The 2-second clip makes it look so much creepier. That's why I'm playing the full here for you. I'm playing the full got me banned on Twitter. Believe that.
I love the picture. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My account's locked on Twitter because of this video.
See, well, you get right in the middle here.
Believe that.
Come on. Come on. You get...
Real talk.
Here we go. You ready? What a beautiful thing. All right, here we go.
Got his fingers around this one now. Again, I don't really see too much wrong with this. That's not on a creepy level right now.
All right, we got up top here. Look up there. Okay, out there.
Great.
Okay, got some more family people that come on in. Yeah, we got a crowd.
Okay.
Someone go behind there.
He's very comfortable getting right in your face.
Say that, keep the guys away.
Hey, Charlie.
Keep
Right
the
Guys, your sister. Hey, man, what's your name? Hey, Charlie.
Back here, color folks in the back here.
How are you? What's your name? Hi, Maggie. How are you?
Hi, Grammy.
Hey, man. How are you? Good to see you, man. Okay. Man, what a great family. Come on. I like kids better than people.
Yeah, I don't really see anything wrong here. This looks fun.
There's a couple people in the back.
I mean, yeah, this kid looks like a little weirded out that his hand's on his shoulder, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's not bad.
Everybody look up
Nothing
top
too
there.
creepy about this.
Up there. Okay. All right. Okay. No, you did. By the way, you need come on, let's all come on, you jump in here.
Where do you want to go?
He's like really into the pictures, this guy. Again, there's nothing wrong here. I mean, he starts playing with the girl's hair. It's a little weird.
Okay, right hand down. Here's the official.
It's a little odd. I mean, again, all I'm seeing here is handsy guy.
Look up and send a photographer up top.
Handsy.
Oh, there you go.
He's not being too much of a creep. I mean, he's got his hands all over everybody. Looks like it's just his thing. Got to be fair on this. Looked a lot creepier before. I mean, the fact that he's still playing with this little girl's hair is like
Dad's gonna stand pretty close.
a little creepy.
He's a lovely child.
She's a lovely child.
By the way, if I were young and I had cheese parties. Nice to see you. Hi, how are you?
This looks like it's like his favorite thing ever. Just the fact. Yeah, I get it. He's happy. He's enjoying himself. A little strange.
What's your name? Sam, good to see you, Sam. What's your name? Hey, Thaddeus, you got a great name. I tell you what.
Hey, I'm Kate.
Kate, how are you?
And this is Molly.
Molly, come over by me. Come on over here. Good to see you.
Yeah, this is
A beautiful smile, child. Okay.
beautiful smile, child. Who are you? Come here. Come here, child.
You're getting too big.
Come here, kid. That's the creepy part. That's like, dude. I get it being friendly and all that, but you're tripping hard into creep status right now. He's touching her face
That's nice of you.
while he's distracting her. Look at this. He's like stroking this little girl's face.
That's good to hear.
That's so bizarre. Who does that?
Taking his little finger to most people have. It's true, Dad. No, I'm not.
He's like a kid at the candy store here.
Thank you. Alrighty.
I remember opening the door and Al Gore Sr. introduced us. 1972. God love you. Good to see you. No, it's not good. What's your name? Hi, Marie.
He's like, oh, I got Asian twins.
Okay.
Everybody look right here. See here?
That mom has some wild hair.
Okay, up there.
One in the pink.
Second level.
I think it's poofed out.
And let's add in the girls. Let's come back in with one big group shot. Come on in.
Do you know what my dad used to say? Your granddaughters have one important job. Take care of their pop. That's the most important one.
What did he say?
Hey, and the gentleman with the
Daughters have one important job: take care of their fathers.
Okay, yeah, can I get a couple of you?
Sounds kind of creepy, dude.
Mind going in the back?
I don't think I've ever heard that saying before.
Back over here.
I don't know, man.
Stephanie,
Can I get
I would need another one then, just the family.
everybody look right here? Okay, right here. And
Yeah, nothing too creepy on this one. I mean, the saying's a little creepy. Yeah, I mean, if this was COVID-19 times, he's spreading that stuff everywhere. But again, it's not as bad as those 2-second clips make it seem. They show a lot of the short clips quick, and it's like, whoa.
No, but with them in the back like that. Okay.
Again, I don't know how this video got me banned on Twitter. That's just
Does that look
bizarre.
better?
Madam
Where's the top
Secretary,
part?
whatever you say.
Thank you so much.
I do. You kidding me?
Thank you so much.
He had a lot more whip back then too. You can see the stark difference between
Don't you girls stand right in the front between your
him back then and him now.
She's entitled.
Yeah, I don't know how old this video is and whatnot, but
Here we go. Here we go.
don't tell your mother that an old man is kissing you. I don't know. It's weird.
We gotta look up top, guys, so he doesn't jump. Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Well, take care of Grandpa, girls. It's a hard job, I know, but take care of it. That's what I tell my granddaughters and my grandson.
Thank you.
Okay? Yeah, how are you? Well, come on, let's slide in here. You ready? Come on in, Mom. The kids can stand right in the front if you want. Okay, here we go.
I mean, why does God doesn't have his hand on every one of these kids?
Is it in your way?
It's weird.
Okay.
not on like pedo status right now though.
And up top.
It does appear a little weird, and his saying's a little weird.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna exit out this way.
I hope you enjoyed
Thank
it
you.
as much as I did. It's good to see you. Tom, best of luck. Appreciate it. Best of luck. Nice to see you.
Tom Cotton. Do you have any other little girls I can touch today? Who's next? And I gotta be honest, like the video, like how does that video get you kicked off of Twitter? It wasn't really even that bad. I mean, the one that was weird is the one that was really weird is the one in the beginning, and then like why are you touching this girl's face and all that. So like, is that video something that should get anyone banned? I mean, honestly, gotta tell the truth with that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this short today. I want to just do a quick little clip, a little reaction to this one. I seen the 2-second clips. I didn't see this one in full. I thought when I was sharing this earlier that I was sharing like the shorter clips with more of the stuff, but this is just like one hearing where he's just being very handsy. So I give him handsy on that, and yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little strange. I mean, is this behavior that you would accept from your president? I mean, this video really wasn't that bad. Okay, but we're gonna jump to the next one. All right, so that one, I don't really have a problem with it. All right, but this next one, that's what we're gonna check out. All right, this next one, it's straight from Biden's mouth. Okay, so may I have been overreacting a little bit about the hands on this? Probably. I'll go with that. I've been overreacting probably a little bit with that, but it is still a little weird, a little strange for that dude to be doing that stuff. But yeah, no, just going into it, you know, because there's like so many different things that Biden's been doing that, or he's got caught saying, that's just completely unacceptable too. So yeah, he likes to touch the kids. Yeah, he gets a little weird. He gets in your face. His nose is in your hair. He's whispering strange things. He's got his weird saying. He always has to have his hands on the kids. It's a little creepy. It is definitely a little creepy. I know I was going to say I was going to keep this short, but I'm going to keep going, all right? Now this video, which I don't know how you take this out of context, right? Because he's literally with the military, and they were complaining about Trump. They were complaining about Trump and saying that he said something derogatory about the military, and it was completely debunked. But you have people on the left still saying it as if it was true, which is like, that's unacceptable. You know, as soon as something is debunked, you're supposed to stop saying it over and over again. I know Democrats don't care about telling the truth today because they see this as a war. They see this election as this is it for them. And I really don't see it. I got into an argument with somebody the other day over on Twitter, and we were going back and forth, and like he was just explaining his points, and none of his points made any sense. He's talking about how they're trying to, the Republicans are trying to change the country, remove people's rights, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, where's your evidence? Show me the evidence where they're trying to remove rights. I haven't seen anything. There's nothing there. But yeah, we have the Democrats that are actively pushing to eliminate the filibuster. They're actively trying to pack the Supreme Court. They want to end the Electoral College. Like, all these things drastically change the country. That's like transformative, not in a good way. So it's like, who's really trying to change stuff here? You know, a vote for Trump is a vote for the status quo, where we were pre-COVID and how we're building back. A vote for Biden is a vote for a complete flip on things. He literally said in a debate last week that he was going to end the Trump tax cut. That immediately raises everybody's taxes. Everybody's going to pay more by electing Biden in office. You got to think about your piggy bank. You got to think about your pocketbook. You got to think about your wallet right now, especially with COVID going on. I don't know what you're doing for work. I don't know if your work got slowed down or whatnot. I mean, I was fortunate where I was able to work straight through. It's starting to slow down now, but it's like, not everybody was lucky. A lot of people are hurting. And if people are hurting, why would you remove a tax cut? Why would you take more taxes from people when they're hurting? Like, that does not make sense at all. So here's Biden with what he said about the military.
Politicians have made the COVID crisis
Right?
worse.
No, we gotta love these commercials.
We need people in Congress who follow the
Nancy
science.
Goroff.
They're
No, thank you, Nancy Goroff. I don't agree to her baloney. But here you go. Ready?
Understanding what you may hear about me, I have incredibly good judgment. One, I married Jill. And two, I appointed John Johnson to the Academy. I just want you to know that. Just clap for that, you stupid bastard.
He's with a bunch of military and he called them stupid bastards. Clap for that, you stupid bastards. That's acceptable? This is on camera. The one where they were trying to get at Trump, that one, it was like a made-up statement that got debunked. This is an actual statement directly from his mouth, calling people in the military stupid bastards.
Understanding what you may hear about me,
There's another view.
I have incredibly good judgment. One, I married Jill. And two, I appointed Johnson to the Academy. I just want you to know that. Just clap for that, you stupid bastard.
Like how do you miss that one? How do you miss that one, right? It's like, dude, the guy literally told the military, call them a bunch of stupid bastards. But like, this guy's acceptable. That's an acceptable statement from your president of the United States. But wait, there's more. And then don't forget, Biden was on the Breakfast Club talking to Charlemagne the God. Right? He said a lot of stuff that was like flat out wrong. Flat out wrong. Okay, I'm going to go into this little 2-minute clip. Right? Just 2-minute little clip. It touches on it a little bit. I could go over the whole entire thing, but a couple of the things he just said it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And this is going to be who you're going to elect for the President of the United States. Right, this is who you're going to elect for your President of the United States?
VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Just think about that statement for a second. Look, see it right from his mouth. If you're thinking about voting between Biden or Trump,
Questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
he told a black man to his face, if you have a trouble thinking about voting between him and Trump, you ain't black. Then you ain't black. He used the word ain't, and he called him ain't against. Oh my God! I don't understand how this isn't all over the news. Like, they didn't bring this up in the debate at all. This is like such a powerful point against Biden. Biden, like, there's no way to mistake this quote. There's no way to take it other than what he said. Then you ain't black. If you don't believe it, let's hear it one more time.
I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for.
And then look at that smile afterwards. After he said it, he has this smile. He didn't make a mistake. He doesn't think he made a mistake. This is in his mind. This dude's a racist. Straight up.
My community. I would love to see.
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP has endorsed me every time
That's another complete and total lie. The NAACP doesn't endorse anybody.
I've run. Come on. Take a look at the record.
Now, I've been critical of you.
The record was
I have a
bullshit.
few things
You
I wanna
lied.
Talk to you about
I
today.
know you have.
Yeah.
You don't know me.
No, I don't. That's why I want to get to know you today. I want to talk to you about mostly black stuff.
I get overwhelming support from the black leadership, young and old. Every poll shows me way ahead.
And black people saved your political life in the primaries this year. They have things they want from you. And one of them is a black woman running mate. What do you say to them?
What I say to them is that I'm not acknowledging anybody who is being considered, but I guarantee you there are multiple black women being considered. We've seen.
Well, he definitely picked one. Even if she's not like historically like a black American, like being part of slavery and all that. She did come from, her family came from like Jamaica or something like that. So like, she's black to her complexion, but she's not like an ancestor of slaves here. So it's just something to be aware of, you know. So like, yeah, she is black. I'm not gonna argue her blackness, right? Just like I wouldn't argue how white Joe Biden's hair is in this picture. Look at that face. Look at that pasty white set of hair. This guy. I guarantee you I will be considering a black woman. Like, I don't know why it's so important in your skin color. It really shouldn't matter. We're all Americans here. You know what I mean? Like, it's what it is. You know, I mean, I get it. Thinking you don't have representation, which is which is information that just comes out from the leftist media. That's just completely false. Black Americans are almost influential people in this country by far. So, let's see what else you got to say, Biden. How many times did you lie to this dude?
Seen it more clearly now. In a black majority county, they're 6 times more likely to die in the pandemic than a white county. They're disproportionately uninsured in the African American community, disproportionately make up the essential jobs that they can't do at home. They're risking their lives every day. Enough's enough.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Oh yeah, because of the silver one. I don't want to get to that. This is beyond pandering.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You getting information?
I always got hot sauce. That was fucking funny, but that's not what I'm talking about yet. The fucking hot sauce thing. I can't believe that was in there. Jeez, the hot sauce. Yeah, it's a hot sauce. Get the heck out of here. You can see how fake she was with it too. And Biden, I'm sorry, his statement was not fake at all. Hillary was straight up fake about that hot sauce thing, but Biden was not fake about that. You ain't black. And then the big smug smile after that. Like, that should be unforgivable at that point. It's like, dude, you just said if you have trouble between Trump and me, then you ain't black. Like, come on. How do you let Joe Biden get away with that? Like, for real. That's like absurd. And then here's one of the things they didn't want to talk about. They didn't want to talk about at all in the debates. When this came up in a debate, Wallace stepped in hard. Wallace stepped right in and shut it down. Right? Because this is when impeachment was over. And Democrats do not want to talk about impeachment. Don't ask me why, but think about it. If you're thinking about voting blue, why aren't they talking about impeachment? Trump is the first ever impeached president that is going to get reelected. Like, you think that would be like a big talking point? It's not. It's non-existent. All right, but here, check out Biden and his quid pro quo. They wanted to yell at Trump. They wanted to complain about Trump and a quid pro quo. But look what this dude does and gets away with. Back 2018, gives you a little history on it.
Remember, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion. I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money.
What on earth did Biden just say?
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a you got fired.
That's a textbook quid pro quo. Yeah, it was annoying that clip had the video on it, but it's whatever, you know. Sometimes you get hits and misses with these clips. But, like, the substance is there. Like, that's a quid pro quo. Like, that's something to be concerned about, especially when you hear about his son and how his son had dealings in Ukraine. And then you hear about this prosecutor was also investigating his son. That's a huge quid pro quo there. That's ginormous. Let alone, don't forget about the $3.5 million that we just found out that Hunter got from China. And let alone, don't forget about, not from China, from Russia, from a Russian mayor's wife, $3.5 million, and he can't answer that question. If you watch the debate, Wallace just stepped in and hardline closed it and went on to the next question. You know why? Because Biden was getting beat up. If you watch the debate, if you ever watch it again, I know it's a very hard watch. If you watch it, like, legit, and, like, look at the questions and look at the close, the way it worked, they would ask a question, Biden would say his piece, Trump would say his piece, they would kind of get combative, and then Trump would start bringing up questions that Biden started struggling at trying to answer, and then Wallace would just lay the hammer down. So that's like, there's something up there. You know what I mean? Like that should have been a little bit more of a fair debate. Like Wallace should have let them at least finish their points. When Biden was stuck with nothing to say, he was just looking around like, oh, you got to help me out. You know what I mean? He was like, it's like, dude, if he just comparing like the aggressiveness between the two of them. If Biden was to go head to head with like a foreign leader like that, he's not gonna win. He couldn't beat Trump. He needed a third party to step in. Like that's unacceptable. If you're gonna be a leader to our country, you got to be strong in those lights. You know, that stuff's just not. That's just not acceptable whatsoever. All right, now let's look at a little. This one was pretty funny. This one was Biden pandering, just like Hillary Clinton with the hot sauce.
And you can customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Gotta hate these commercials, you know? They always pop up, though.
Right?
I can't not put a commercial in there. Let's go. Do the pandering.
I just have one thing to say. Hang on. All right. There you go. Dance a little bit, Joe. Come on. I tell you what, if I had the talent of any one of these people, I'd be elected president by acclamation. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh my God. Walks onto a stage. Obviously it says Todos con Biden. It's obviously talking Spanish right off the jump on the podium. So he just came out there pandering. And he didn't even get a good reaction out of the crowd at all. Like one person's like, oh yeah, I can dance it. Like, dude, seriously? I mean, I get it. Democrats see this, these people immigrating over from the country and they want to like give them stuff right away so they get on their meal ticket. But you gotta stay far away from these blue people. Like, come on. Like, that is straight pandering. I couldn't imagine ever seeing Trump doing something like that. But hey, that'd be your president if you select Joe Biden. That would be him. If you think that's acceptable, right? All right, you ready? Here it goes deeper with Joe Biden. Here we go.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids.
What?
No, I really mean it, but think how we think about it. We think, no, we're going to dump it
I mean,
down.
he obviously screwed up and then just
They
kept
can
it
do
rolling.
anything anybody else can do, give it a shot. You know, the reason we're the country we are is we're a nation of immigrants. It's not this is not because I'm standing with you, but it's a fact. It's a fact. We've been able to cherry pick the single best of every single solitary culture in the world, from every continent in the world. That's why we're who we are. Because to get up and decide to come to the United States, whether it was 200 years ago or 2 days ago, takes a whole heck of a lot of courage. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Now, that's why I always like to show the full clip. Like, obviously, he screwed up that statement bad. He meant to say poor kids are just as talented as wealthy kids. But come on, this is your president. This is your president. He's gonna give a speech, and he's gonna screw it up. You can take one little word wrong and completely screw it up, and that's Biden. He's not. He's gonna screw it up. Remember what Obama said about him. He said, "You can trust Joe to f things up," and he's going to. And this will be your president if you elect Joe Biden. A guy who can't say things right. A guy who blatantly shows racism. I mean, I ask you if you think Trump is racist. If you truly think Trump is racist, bring your evidence, put it forward. It's all debunked. Like, there's nothing really out there. The only one that's really questionable is like the stuff from the 60s where he had, they were trying to keep black Americans out of their hotel complexes back then. And like this is just after segregation. They wanted to attract wealthier clients. Historically, Black Americans weren't wealthy clients as compared to the rest. So like, it makes sense in that light, even though it's messed up. But still, like that's really the only thing they got on Trump as far as racism. Everything else is easily debunked. You know, craziness. So I'd say wait, but there's more. All right, Joe Biden did talk about how back in the day he didn't want his kids growing up in a racial jungle. They ended up in a newspaper. So he was against segregation. And then there's this, which how do you accept this? Right? Biden literally
Let's also
utilized
know that Robert C. Byrd
this guy.
was a parliamentary library, a keeper of the institution of the Senate, and he was the institution itself. But to me, and many people here today, like guys I see, Bill Bradley and Jim Sasser, who long left the Senate for greener pastures, and I hope better remuneration. We used to kid about that too, but for a lot of us, he was a friend, he was a mentor, and he was a guide.
He's a friend, a mentor, and a guide. Talking about a KKK leader. Like, really?
Employee gets
I went
fired
all little
for
head.
inventing an indestructible
Little head,
drone.
big head. But yeah, so there it is. There's just a few videos. There's a few videos to think about. You know, before you elect this dude. You know what I mean? Before people start electing this dude, you got to think about all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff he's like caught, you know, saying, missaying. You ain't black if you don't vote for Joe Biden. I don't want my kids growing up in a racial jungle. Eulogizing Robert Byrd, who's a former KKK member. Telling you that he's going to take away the Trump tax cuts, which is going to take money directly out of your pocket. He did not denounce at the debate. He dodged the question on ending the filibuster and on packing the Supreme Court, which would be directly against our democracy. Directly. The Democrats even pushed forward a bill trying to give term limits to the Supreme Court. So they want term limits for the Supreme Court, but none for themselves. You got to look at how many people have been in there multiple decades. You're talking 4 or 5 decades. You're talking 40, 50 years. 40, 50 years. Longer than I've been on this planet. Like, that's ridiculous. We should never have congressmen in office for that long. That should be completely and totally unacceptable. So that's something we need to work on. That's for sure. And if you elect Joe Biden, who is a 4-decade politician himself, with a very poor track record, let alone given his '94 crime bill, that was like the big blemish, and Trump had to combat that with the First Step Act. But like, you gotta weigh this stuff out. If you're gonna elect Joe Biden, this is your guy. This is your guy that will on stage say disparaging things to the military. He will tell a black American to his face that he ain't black. Come on. We could do better than this. One thing we can do, especially the Democrats out there, you guys can still write in your ballots. You can write in Bernie Sanders. You don't have to elect this guy. It's not him or nobody else. You can write in whoever you want. You get enough people to talk about this issue. Like, you can have Bernie Sanders as your president. That is very likely. That is possible. It doesn't have to be this guy. It shouldn't be this guy. He's not there. He's not fit. He's a racist. He can't control himself. And you want this guy to take over as, like, the president? I mean, you could probably debate, control. Trump is very controlled, but he does talk out of his ass, and I gotta admit that. That's for sure. But, yeah, so I want to leave it at that. Just a little smackdown on Biden. Feel free to review it, leave comments, like, share, do what it do, and feel free to critique the hell out of this, because this is a learning curve. I'm going to be doing a lot of these episodes, and I really want to get a good message across. I want to try to be as fair as possible. That's why I was trying to be as fair as possible with Biden. But some stuff you just can't The creepy stuff with the kids, it's a little creepy. That's why I played you the long video, because the short video, it doesn't do it justice. It doesn't do it justice. So it shows he's a little handsy, but there's nothing wrong with being a little handsy. I mean, it's a little weird with the kids. Bring the kid over here. Put him in front of me. Put the kid in front of me. Yeah, right here. Like, get the candy store. That's creepy. That's definitely creepy. But that's all I got to say about that. That's all I'm going to leave you with that. Just a couple of the podcasts that I follow. I know Bongino's going through something. Found out he has some health concerns, so I wish him well. Trump has COVID, and Kellyanne Conway has COVID. Rob Johnson has COVID. I'm going to do an episode about this tomorrow. And, like, my thing on it, like, it looks sketchy. It looks real sketchy that only these Republicans happen to have it after this debate. You know, and I know Nancy Pelosi was talking about, I got the quivers. I got the arrows in my quivers still. Arrows in my quivers. You got the quivers in your arrows? I got the arrows in my quivers. And if this is like one of her options, like, yeah, we're going to get Senate Republicans. We're going to give COVID to the Senate Republicans so they can't come in and confirm the Supreme Court justice. All right, let's see how well that works. Let's see how well these treatments are doing for Trump. So far, so good from what I could see, what I can find on the news. It looks like they just juiced him up with a bunch of different things, and he's like, all right, he wants to get the hell out of the hospital, which you can understand a guy that works that much and wants to get the hell out of the hospital. And Biden called a lid early the other day. That was like supposed to be like his key term, lid, for when they take off today. So supposedly he called a lid, and then Trump did his little event thing, jumping in the truck and going around. Which I get it, the concern with spreading COVID, but this is a decision. This is a decision between them and the Secret Service and whatnot. And I guess they thought it was all right, and of course they should get tested and whatnot. And if they're not contagious, then it didn't do any harm. But it was cool to see, because he went around parading and just kind of like waving his hands around, like, yeah, I'm still all right. I got COVID, but I'm all right. You know, and he's going to downplay the hell out of this when he gets out of there. That's for sure. I mean, even though 200,000 people died, a lot of those deaths occurred at the beginning. And you got to be real about that. A lot of those deaths occurred at the beginning, but now we have some therapeutics that are working. And Trump's going to come out, and he's going to be touting the therapeutics that he's going to say saved his life. I guarantee he's going to be like, and I had COVID-19, and these therapeutics, they saved my life. They saved my life. It's a horrible Trump voice, but hey, work in progress here. We're moving. All right. So we're going to leave it at that. You've been watching Can He Be Unchained? Can you be unchained? Peace.